Hello, trainers of all types, drafters of all disciplines. I'm Cossack11. This is the MagneZONE. And with me, as always, Clutch
Hello.
and Sam.
Hey,
And so we've got 2 leagues worth of matches to go over today because we are now officially beginning our coverage of Alola International. And that's exciting. I'm excited. There were some good battles this week for that league. There's some good battles this week for the RDL, which is what we're going to start off with. We're going to start with the RDL week 5, then we're going to move to Alola International week 1, then we're going to go back to the RDL because this week, when we're recording this, is the This is the 2 extra free agent transaction week, so we have a bit of a free agent frenzy going on here in the league, and we're going to try and cover a bunch of it now, and then whatever is left we'll cover later, because there is a lot to go over with that, and it's either do it now or do it later, and we might as well rip the Band-Aid off now. And then we'll do our Mon of the Week at the end.
a wonderful surprise for all.
Indeed, a very wonderful surprise. But let's get to swiftly into the RDL, and we'll start as always with Akron, and that was Akron versus Brooklyn Bulbasaurs.
Ooh.
And that was a match, okay?
That-
This might be match of the week.
Yeah,
We
definitely.
just
So-
start off with match of the week, huh?
Yeah, it was a 1-0 win for the Alex Zams, and the rosters real quick: Rotom Heat, Mega Altaria, Mamoswine, Nihilego, Primarina, and Zoroark for Akron. Brooklyn bringing Mega Venusaur, Cobalion, Crobat, Arcanine, Suicune, and Xurkitree. Now, I will say, though, the key play here is that missed Z Hypnosis. I think is
Yeah,
one of
that
the
was big.
biggest keys right there.
That was a huge pivotal moment.
Yeah. And so, as per usual, Brooklyn's shit luck starts kicking in right around halfway through the season.
Ooh,
And-
let's not say that.
It's nothing on Santoro. He just has like weird luck, okay? Because like look at what happened last season. Now that's not gonna. I don't think that's gonna stop him from making playoffs
Probably not.
because it's Santoro.
It is Santoro.
And yeah, that's about all we need to say about that one. So
Yeah,
we'll move
Santoro-
on.
I was, just,
Yeah.
I was gonna chip in with
Oh,
like,
no, go
Santoro
ahead.
uses Crobat really, really well.
Oh, yeah,
I just threw that in as a quick tidbit.
Yeah, he's really comfortable with Crobat's capabilities, which is
Mhm. I mean, it doesn't have a positive differential or anything, but like he's brought it quite a bit, and it's been effective.
he's been using it very well as a like backline support mon.
Actually, I say he's been bringing it quite a bit, but he's only really brought it against me and Adam. But anyways.
But when he has
moving
brought
on.
it, he's used it to good effect. He's used it
Yeah.
as a very good pivot.
He needs the defog support for
Yeah.
He
Dragonite.
does.
He does.
Dragonite does kind of demand defog.
All right.
Yeah.
Moving on to Chicago versus the Solgalios. Solgalios win 4-0. This was a short battle. This was I think it was like 19 turns. It was not a very long battle. I watched this battle. The brings were Chicago, Forretress, Mega Absol, Blacephalon, Flygon, Delmise, and Tapu Fini. And the LA Solgalios brought Azelf, Celesteela, Amoonguss, Zygarde 10, Mega Diancie, and Buzzswole.
It's actually kind of an interesting matchup.
It is.
But you can kind of see looking at that other team where Buzzful could kind of go in a little.
Yeah.
It doesn't like Bless,
Yeah.
but
It
also Mega Diancie had a good matchup this week.
yeah.
He did.
It did. And moving on to East C versus the LA Charge Bugs. LA wins 2-0. And that, okay, the brings were EC, Porygon 2. I didn't watch this one. Porygon 2, Heliolisk, Gastrodon, Conkeldurr, Mega Tyranitar, Alakazam versus Kecleon, Cresselia, Slurpuff, Whimsicott, Salamence, and Mega Blastoise.
What do you make of this one, Clutch? Because I think I was watching this, and I think I gave you kind of a halfway through comment of like, I felt like Omega, because he gave away Porygon 2 in like turn 2, right?
Yeah.
Did he face? Wait, does he face EC back to back, or is it
No.
labeled wrong?
It's probably just labeled wrong.
Because I see 2 EC matches here, week 5 and 6 on the sheet.
Well, week 6 has already been played.
Yeah, but is it against EC or like?
It's against Akron.
Okay.
Or rather, EC plays Akron in week 6.
Oh, okay. Oh, right.
Meta
Duh.
hasn't-
I'm looking at the wrong side of the thing.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
reading the
no.
sheet wrong. Cossack mistake counter, like just mark that on the bingo sheet.
Sorry
Okay,
there.
yeah. Jeez.
Slurpuff went in 3 kills. Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
The,
I mean,
The
he
demon
got a belly
cupcake.
drum set up.
Yeah.
yeah.
Once that happens, it's kind of meh.
It was kind of rough because Meta procced the berry by.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if that was really an intentional prediction, thinking that Slurpuff would come in. But I mean, Slurp got a belly drum and got webs on Omega's side.
Ooh, yeah, that's
And that
a
was-
double
I mean-
whammy.
Yeah, and I think that the other thing is or wait, is that right? I actually might be mixing this up with the game that Omega played in AI, which
It's been a while
funny
since I watched
enough,
this.
yeah, I was gonna say, funny enough, Omega had bad experiences with Slurpuff this last week in 2 separate matches.
Oh, that's fun.
Omega's had an issue with like belly drum.
Yeah, no, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. That was the AI match, but
Well,
yeah,
he also
Slurpuff went in
did
here.
get belly drum swept by Linoon last week. So,
Yeah. You know, but like Heliolisk put in work here. I actually thought that like if he had I think Sash Alakazam, he could have flipped this one.
Yeah, like Sash counter Zam could have been huge.
I feel like this was just kind of like, I mean, credit to Meta for winning the battle, of course. Like that's good prep, but like I did feel like, I mean, Omega had 6 matches this week, and I felt like this was one case where you saw kind of like that he was playing to get it over with. Like the P2 sack at turn 2 was just really strange to me. Like
yeah,
he gave P2 to Kecleon. It knocked off the Eviolite and then Drain Punched. So
yep.
Want to move on?
Yep. Let's move on to Galesburg versus Seattle.
Oh, I don't want to talk about this.
This happened a while ago, actually.
This game happened like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah. So like, good thing your Musharna didn't do anything, because you technically don't have Musharna here.
Yeah,
You're not hey, but you know what? You're not the only team that broke rules in week 5. So.
Oh jeez. Well, see, here's the thing: is I mean, first off, yeah, Musharna didn't do anything. I lost. I mean, I would say that like we didn't end up breaking the rules.
No, because
but like
at the time that you battled, and like it didn't really factor in anyway. And I'm pretty sure even if you had won, Mike would have been like, well,
just delay the Musharna swap for another week.
Yeah, basically is what he probably would.
Yeah,
have done.
I mean, when games are played in advance like that, it's an easy mistake.
Yeah, and
I probably should have held on to Musharna, but anyways, that's a technicality.
And
this was a match where
there's a lot of it happening this season, like for a lot of teams.
Oh, it happens.
Yeah.
Anyways, but like
I'm just talking about matches being played early is what I meant. But yeah,
exactly. But talking about this match in particular, like I think Clutch helped me prep for this one quite a bit. I feel like I feel like the mistake we made was that I think we went a little bit too broad in prepping for Necrozma.
Yeah.
It's hard to prep for every possible Necrozma set. And I think what I wish I would have done in the end is kind of like the conversation we had was like, it's probably going to be a special Necrozma because it needs Heatwave to beat Scizor, basically.
Or it needs to like drastically chip.
Yeah. And so, and then the mistake I made in the battle was really not scouting Necrozma. And also, Empoleon just really went in on walling my team. It did more than I expected to hip out on, blah, blah, blah. I mean, Staraptor pulled some kills. That was good. But my team was really just... Empoleon and Necrozma just really kind of went in on me.
Honestly...
Also, Also, my Staraptor got burned by Magmar's Flame Body, and that was some BS. Like, it's hacks, but, like, it was sad.
Yeah, honestly, this, you know what, this is the showcase where it was like, oh, good. Galesburg is, like, has Necrozma. Galesburg. Well, because I think, honestly, Neek, like, Necrozma and Neek's playstyle mesh frighteningly well together.
I hate it.
Yes, I imagine you do.
I mean, you would too if you had to play him.
I'm sure I would. Here we go. Moving on to, speaking of me playing battles, I didn't do much better this week. I lost the San Antonio Sceptiles 3-0. Real quick though, I forgot I should do the brings for both you and Galesburg. You brought Hippowdon, Vikavolt, Mega Caesar, Staraptor, Starmie, and Musharna. Galesburg brought Empoleon, Necrozma, Gliscor, Megalopony, Tornadus Eye, Magmar. The more I like read that, the more I'm just like, how did we let this happen?
It's a good team, but it's not unbreakable.
No, it's not unbreakable,
like,
but it's like the I think it's like the quintessential Neek team.
It is.
Yeah, maybe.
I looked over the draft plan. Like,
I still really
building it. And I'm like,
okay,
oh, no.
so I'm just gonna say San Antonio, like, read just. I must be the easiest coach to read because like San Antonio read me like an open book, just about as badly as Ballistic did, and it was bad.
Dominator makes some like really aggressive reads.
He was extremely aggressive. Krook picked up 3 kills. I lost 3-0.
If you don't see him, like, if you don't like.
But I got the moral victory because I picked up a kill with Flame Orb Facade Diggersby. I did the meme proud today.
Good job.
So my brings were.
Clutch? Okay, go ahead.
Well, I'll list the brings and then Clutch can do his closing remarks. But Jirachi, Rotom Wash, Diggersby, Entei, Sarina, Alolan Muck versus Thunderous T, Virizion, Bronzong, Florges, Megalatios, and Crocodile.
Yeah, so like the way Dominator plays, like, it'll get him in trouble. So, like,
well, yeah, we saw that against the Solgalios.
And yeah, you know, get him in trouble sometimes, but he will like.
It's high risk, high reward. He's very much a high risk, high reward play style.
Very much so.
I've said this before, but like, he reminds me in his play style of like, I think he falls on the spectrum somewhere between Omega and Meta.
Yeah,
like,
honestly, I think that he's what Meta is gonna be in like maybe a couple more seasons,
or maybe
even really one more season.
I mean, I think
Meta's really developing as a player.
Yeah, like
I think Meta has the better record right now, doesn't he?
He does. So. But what I'm saying is, like, I think Meta's playstyle does, and maybe Meta, because Meta's been more of an aggressive player, but maybe not, because this season he's been using Crest, and he's been getting better every game with using Crest, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he'll end up falling back more towards...
Yo, Cossack, your Meta's only loss.
So I am.
Anyways.
Anyway, moving on to Ohio versus Oregon.
Oh, that was just.
Yeah.
That was a interesting.
The score is up, but the kills aren't. The kill spread isn't. It was.
Yeah.
And that's because Oregon had it in hand, but they missed a key clause in the rules that have been in the RDL since season 1. But you know, it happens. But it's unfortunate. But like, I feel bad because Oregon played really well.
And
but at the same time, and they were winning.
100% gonna win that game.
Yeah, they were probably gonna win, but they didn't read the rules. And frankly,
I'm not sure if it's that, right? Do we know that it's that he didn't read? Or
yeah,
is it
yeah. Mike showed me some correspondence. That's about all I'm gonna go into on that.
Gotcha.
I mean, a lot of leagues have different separate ways. He could have flipped his mind.
Yeah, because like I can think of at least 2 leagues that I've been a part of where there is no item limit at all.
You can run 6 choice cards if you want to, but like,
I'll be darned. I'll have to do that in some other league someday. Only Scarf.
Anyway, so he brought 3 lefties, and you're only like, we have an item limit of 2, and it's unfortunate, but you know, it's been there since season 1. So
what happened? I mean, I know that Mike was on the back foot in that battle, but like,
I didn't even watch it once I found out what happened. So
I do have to say, Mike's like Mike played Galvantula pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
I that's like Mike is actually making that mon look pretty good. I think.
Yeah.
Like it's functional, and honestly, it kind of went in against Oregon. Like if you look at compare those rosters, I mean Galvantula just really goes down the list and mows down everything that's on Oregon's team.
Yeah.
Like there's not much to stop it.
It's a really solid breaker against him, and Mike noticed that and put it to its full use.
Yep.
Yeah.
So moving on. I guess I'll list the brings. It was Lando T, Snorlax, Kyurem, Galvantula, Keldeo, Ferrothorn for Ohio. Oregon had Zapdos, Slowking, Stakataka, Tangrowth, Misdreavus, and Cloyster. Moving on to Philadelphia versus San Jose Sharpedos. And that was also a close game. This is also a definite frontrunner for match of the week.
It's becoming characteristic, I think, of Whitehawk just to play these. He's 1-4 right now, but like he's lost 1-0 three times.
Yeah, most of his matches have been like 1-0s.
He's a 1-0, 1-0. He won 4-0, 0-3, then he lost 0-1 to San Jose.
Yep. And San Jose, that Pikachu, man, that thing's I think this Pikachu's that like underestimated closet killer. We have one every season. Pikachu is that mon this season.
I've never actually seen the Pikachu do work. It's making me sort of happy to see it do that.
Yeah, I think everyone's secretly rooting for Pikachu to like maintain a top 10 slot on the kill boards.
It's tied for 14th right now, 5-1.
Hey, top 15 and it's a Pikachu isn't bad.
The Pikachu, to be fully fair, like Pikachu has like dumb stats with Light Ball.
Yeah. Well, the brings were Philadelphia brought Donphan, Toxapex, Tapu Bulu, Electros, Archeops, Mega Manectric versus Mean Xiao, Pikachu, Victini, Sylveon, MagneZONE, and Rabombi for San Jose, and that was a 1-0 loss. Very close.
Very close. Archeops and Mega did a little bit, and Victini San Jose is using Victini very well.
Oh yeah, and Victini when used well is a very frightening mon to deal with.
It is.
We were discussing its numerous coverage options the other day.
Yeah, we were. And Victini is like one of those things that got that great coverage move pool and it hits really hard. It's something that you have can run in the back to mess things up.
Right,
and really then great to play with.
And then you have V Create, which is, as Sam described it, a Z move with downsides.
Pretty much.
So this next match is
just another tough loss.
Yeah, this match is Pittsburgh versus Rochester.
Oh, jeez.
Did this one go to timer?
No.
Oh.
It was a showdown match.
Oh, that's right. It was a showdown match.
Essentially, like you look at that team, you look at that game. Skarmory just kind of sat there in front of his team because.
Yeah.
Andrew's team in general.
Oh right, I wasn't looking at the passive kills. Whoops. There we go. Okay, I was like.
Andrew's team in general just has really great sand checks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is just a really poor typing matchup for Pittsburgh.
It's just not. It was not his matchup because Andrew's a very nice team.
Yeah.
And like you look at it and you go, okay, that's nice. And then like, I think Rich has been on a struggle. I don't know if they struggle recently.
And I will say I think part of that honestly is his team. It's
a little everywhere at times.
It's unfocused. I think it's one of those things where it's got a lot of good mons, but the problem is the good mons don't really work well together.
No, that is kind of it, isn't?
Because like I think this match. I think I remember saying that when I was watching this to you, which was that his sandstorms did more damage to his team than to Rochester.
Yeah, it's also kind of a factor because Andrew has a really good sand matchup.
Right, because Cradily, Skarmory,
they can just take hits after
and Vaporeon with lefties is just it was a rough matchup.
And Andrew exploited it and played to his best. And
got a 6-0 out of it. So that's Mega Beedrill, Cradily, Darmanitan, Skarmory, Vaporeon, and Weavile for Rochester. Pittsburgh brought Chestnut, Weezing, Tyranitar, Excadrill, Togekiss, and Jolteon.
Cradily!
Come And that covers it for the RDL. Let's move on.
All warning, please wear headphones.
Yeah, audio
RIP
warning.
Headphone users.
Audio warning to headphone users.
Ear rape warning.
Oh.
So, with that, we move on to Alola International. Our first week of coverage for Alola International, in fact. And we're starting off with the man himself, Grounded Gliscor, the Lowland Quakes versus the Virginia Caesars. It was a 5-0 win for the Quakes, but I will say this match, I watched it, is a 49-turn match, and it felt a lot closer than it actually ended up being.
Mm-hmm.
This was very much a lot of back and forth, and basically Gliscor just did a good job of grinding down and whittling down the Caesars team until Breloom could just walk in and mock punch, mock punch, mock punch, mock punch, mock punch.
It was a good sequence of plays, and I think that Mega Latias with the what was it?
Yeah, that ran some serious.
Type.
Yeah, reflect type. It ran some serious tech.
Yeah, what was it catching with the reflect type? Like Tapu Fini, right?
Yeah,
like
Tapu Fini.
Bisharp. Bisharp too.
He clicked it on Bisharp. Got the Dark Steel typing, and then Tapu Fini couldn't really do very much to Mega Lati.
Mm-hmm.
And Mega Lati proceeded to whittle down Fini.
Yeah, no, that Mega Latias set was actually really fantastic. I think that shows why
Mega Latias is so good.
Mega Latias is so good, and honestly, with Grounded tends to. I think he's mentioned before that he likes bulky offense, and Mega Latias is a fantastic bulky.
I would almost say
mon.
that outside of Lando T, Mega Latias is probably the bulky offense mon.
Yeah, you can run without it, but it's a fantastic bulky offense mon. And surround it with.
I'd put it in the top 5 in bulky.
And he's gonna put Clefable and Caesar around that for the Steel, Fairy Dragon core. That's good.
Yeah,
that's really nice.
Spooky.
So here's the rosters: Breloom, Minior, Mega Latias, Caesar, Nidoking, Piloswine versus Delmise, Alola and Persian, Bisharp, Tapu Fini, Archeops, and Embor.
And you can see for sure that in the absence of Delmise, Breloom really just
Breloom's the
bulldozes
beast.
the team.
Mm-hmm.
Breloom is so good.
Yeah, Breloom is a tough mon to deal with. All right, so moving on to the next match, which is the Brooklyn Bonnets versus the Alola Archers. So this is Slimy versus what's his face? Eclipse?
Eclipse.
Yes. Sorry, I'm not familiar with who coaches what team yet. So we'll get it down, don't worry. It'll only take us an entire season. Anyway, this was a pretty good match. Snorlax went in. It doesn't actually have it credited with the full amount of kills it got. It has 3 kills. It says 2 on the sheet right now. But Snorlax, basically what happened is there's a lot of whittling down that happened, a lot of back and forth. It was a slug match. It was really just throwing big hits back and forth for the first few turns. This wasn't a long match. It was 21 turns. And for about the first 15, it was just throwing big hits back and forth and KOing things. And then Snorlax got in, and Keldeo was already gone by that point. Why am I saying Keldeo? Haxorus, which I think was probably the biggest threat to Snorlax at that point, was gone. Yeah. And it was Snorlax versus Starmie. It was Recycle. It was Recycle, Gluttony, a Papa Berry with Curse. And that's a dirty set.
Yeah.
He got to +6 on Curse, and then just machine gunned the last 3 mons.
Yeah, I think that things like Snorlax are the reason why you need a fighting type.
Definitely.
Things like Snorlax, things like Porygon 2, there are a lot of reasons why you need fighting types in draft, and that's one of them.
And
I'm not sure that Hitmontop.
Fighting type of necessity if you have a strong
you just need a strong physical attacker, or you need a strong breaker with fighting type.
You need to be able to pressure Snorlax so it doesn't have that chance to set up essentially.
I mean, but that's you just say things like a Darmanitan, right? That's an effective thing. Yeah,
it's thick fat or something weird like that.
But even then, Superpower is gonna lay the pain on there.
It
Um,
is.
See, the thing is, yeah, I'm still kind of. I very much lean. This is my personal thing. Is I'd prefer to have a fighting type on the
Oh,
roster because
certainly.
like bulky normals are such a thing, and because like Snorlax, Chansey, Porygon 2, those will go to different teams. You know,
Mhm.
like most teams aren't going to load up on more than one of those, so chances are you're going to face one or two of them every season.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, anyways, regardless, the other thing I want to say is Eclipse is actually like I've seen this in the 2 seasons that he's been around, is that like one of the things he does well is recognizing opportunities for
Yeah.
setup.
And that's
Like
the kind of
recognizing that Snorlax could go in there, it went in. Like he 6-0'd people with Magmortar
and
last season.
as someone who's run like bulky kind of stall setup sets before, and runs them frequently, he definitely played the heals well. Like he timed his moves very well.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's definitely like when using moves like recycle or wish or recover, timing is everything. You click it too early, you click it too late, and your mon's gonna get KO'd at an inopportune moment. And it's always there. You're kind of walking a fine line.
I feel like that's
a lot of the time.
It's a matter of thinking a step or two ahead, right?
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
you want to take into account the fact that crits happen, and
Yeah.
you should probably heal earlier than later.
It's also and you're also kind of calculating the risk reward ratio.
Click rest a turn before you need to.
Yep, you get then you get full parried, and then you're fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a good battle. Just like it was a short but very good battle. Moving on, Waynesboro Gallades versus the Huddersfield Heracross.
Yeah,
that was a great match.
Did we all watch this one?
Oh wait, hold on a second. I did forget to say the rosters for both these teams. Brooklyn brought Mega Tyranitar, Weezing, Superior, Haxorus, Thundurus T, and Starmie versus Snorlax, Lando T, Obama Snow, Aselgor, MagneZONE, and Keldeo.
Oof.
Okay, so Waynesboro versus Huddersfield. And
match.
yes, I did. I think all three of us watched it, and I think that we can all agree this might be the match of the week.
Oh yeah, for what it came down to. Yes.
It was a close match. 1-0. Ethan won.
Mm-hmm.
The Waynesboro Gallades, and it was very much back and forth. But the key was getting that there was a play at the end. He swaps out Tornadus T and sacrifices Alolan Ninetales, gets the regen on Tornadus T, switches it back in, tanks a Zen Headbutt, and then
extremely pivotal play,
and then sweeps in with that Oko on Hoopa Unbound with the U-turn, and that was just well sequenced, very well sequenced.
I would have cried if he got flinched.
Oh, yeah, that would have been the worst. I would have been so sad.
We were all watching that because you saw that Zen Headbutt go off, and you just thought to yourself, "There's a possibility
that this could be done right here and right now."
There's a 20% chance that Ethan loses this game.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. At that moment, the moment Zen Headbutt was clicked, it was a 20% chance. It was like a 1 in 6 or like a 1 in 5 chance. Like you roll a d5 that doesn't exist, but if it did.
Yeah, dude, and credit to Ethan for recognizing his win con at the end there. Like the switch out with Tornadus, because that was the thing, is that if Hoopa Unbound had locked itself into like Hyperspace Fury, then that wouldn't have KO'd Ninetales, right? Like it was just a good play. Like So.
All right, next bat. Oh well, I should say real quick, it's late.
It is.
And
go ahead.
So that's why I'm kind of forgetting things. But here we go. The rosters: Waynesboro, Mega Gallade, Tapu Koko, Donphan, Licky Licky, Tornadus T, and Alolan Ninetales. Huddersfield brought Hoopa Unbound, Mega Venusaur, Steelix, Salazzle, Beware, and Jolteon. Oh, I should also note that Beware got frozen by Ice Punch.
Oh yeah, that's RDL leaking into AI. It happens.
Yep. Oh man. So, all right, moving on to the next match. The Los Angeles Lookers versus the Kyoto Klefkeys. This is another close match. Did any of us get a chance to watch this one? Was this the one that
No.
Okay.
Not.
I don't think, because this is interesting because I mean the Kyoto Klefkis, you know about this team, right? Because this was the one that I think it was like young Bobbert was supposed to have, and then he like smashed his DS.
Oh, right.
So
I've heard of this.
Yeah. Kids don't rage.
Gets you nowhere.
It's not good for your DS.
I've been there because I actually have like a 360 controller that rattles a little bit. Because back when I used to play a lot of Rocket League, I spiked the controller not once but twice. Those wired 360 controllers are built like tanks.
Oh, you bet they are.
Because I spiked that thing twice and it still works.
That's impressive. That's some good engineering. That's some
top quality engineering from Microsoft.
So, but anyways, but yeah, Infrarouge is, I don't know how to say that name. Infrarouge?
I don't know.
Infrarage. I don't know. The coach of the Kyoto Klefkis.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to see a coach come in and take over a team that's not theirs and still like pull something off with it.
Oh yeah, and
but, like,
I'm personally a big fan of Moltres. I like Moltres. I like the passive kill on that or no, I didn't get any passive kills. I'm dumb. I like the active kill on Moltres. I can't read.
It's a good bring when your opponent has Celesteela.
Did this go to timer? Because I'm noticing that the kills don't add up.
It's 2-0.
2-0.
No, but he only has 4 kills on the sheet.
Kyoto. That's because that's. I mean, that's curious, but like the Los Angeles Lakers have 6.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Have 6.
Yeah, I should have just looked at that.
It did. Yeah, it didn't go to timer, but I'm guessing that it wasn't entered correctly.
Probably.
It's possible.
Now that it's been brought to the attention, I'm sure someone will fix that. But here we go. The rosters for Los Angeles. By the way, Kyoto 1-2-0. Los Angeles brought Garchomp, Gengar, Miltank, Rotom Frost, Celesteela, and Mandibuzz versus the Kyoto Klefkis, who brought Megalatios, Rotom Mow, Machamp, Hippowdon, Moltres, and Weavile. Can we just talk about how Rotom Mow is always called Rotom Cut by a lot of people? Not always, but I've frequently heard it referred to as Rotom Cut.
Yeah.
I think it's like dependent on like. I think the actual cut is. I think it's actually called like Rotom. Like.
It's Rotom Mow. Yeah, it's
actually
called Rotom Mow.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're all named after the stuff that they do, right? Rotom Wash, Rotom Heat.
Yeah.
Rotom Mow. Like,
yeah.
I suppose it could mow or it could cut, right? But
yeah,
like,
I suppose. So
Rotom Mow is the most nightmarish of all the Rotom forms, honestly. Let's be straight up here.
I mean, yeah, it kind of is. So now we move on to the Crane Lake Conkeldurrs. Try saying that 5 times fast. Holy smokes. And the California Kyogres. And that was also a 2-0 win in favor of California. Was this the one that the replay doesn't work on?
This is the one where
we tried watching this one. The replay didn't work. So
apparently, I mean it's a pretty it's a pretty even kill spread for California.
Yep.
Yeah. 2 for Zerk, 2 for Garchomp, 1 from Pulling, 1 for Kieran Black.
Yep, and I'll mention the brings now. Crane Lake had Crocodile, Mega Pidgeot, Jirachi, Tapu Bulu, Mantine, and Arcanine versus California Kyogres bringing out Xurkitree, Sylveon, Mega Garchomp, Empoleon, Kieran Black, and Smeargle. That is some high power, by the way.
It is.
California's got high power.
That team hits.
Jeez.
Like, he has 2 mons with base 170 attack.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and here's
a Staraptor.
And we move on to a team name that's very familiar to us all.
Wait.
Colorado Agrons versus the Seattle Supersonics.
Oh, geez.
Seattle was being driven not by our boy Sam this week. It was actually by Omega.
Yep.
And
friend of the show.
Friend of the show. Well, also host. And the only reason he hasn't been on regularly is because he's got.
He's a busy boy.
That boy has been swamped. I feel bad for him. He has been just inundated from all
Get that
angles.
engineering degree, Omega. Do it, man. That's
Yeah.
a good life choice.
Oh
That's
yeah. Oh
a
yeah.
good investment.
Yeah, he's gonna make
Aerospace. Hell yeah. So,
like
yeah, no, I saw this match because I have a interest in it. What I'll say about it is there's something about I got some PTSD here because Omega ran. This is the best where I was mentioning earlier.
Yeah.
So just real quick to run down the rosters here. Omega brought Mega Mawile, Scolipede, Rotom Wash, Manshao, Mamoswine, and Dragonite. And on the other side, Crane Lake, Airflab brought Zygarde
Colorado. Crane Lake was the last battle.
Geez, sorry, my
Yes,
bad.
someone else got something wrong for once. It wasn't me.
Okay.
It wasn't me.
It's 10:30. I've been studying all day. I'm gonna take a pass. Colorado brought Zygarde 50, Tangrowth, Heatran, Slurpuff, Mesprit, and Lycanroc Dusk. The PTSD that I mentioned is the fact that Rotom Wash. So basically, what ended up happening here is that Slurpuff got in on. I think it came in on a Manshao. I'm not sure if. I think Omega called that Slurpuff or Tangrowth was going to be coming in and went for the Poison Jab. Poison Jab put Slurpuff in a range where it ate its berry. Omega switched out to Rotom Wash to burn the Slurpuff. And missed the Will-O-Wisp.
Oh yeah,
Tragic.
As the Slurpuff got to +6
on the belly drum
with the Unburden boost, of course.
The demon cupcake.
Now, what's even worse is that not only did it manage to get the belly drum off, but it also managed to get webs up.
Yeah, it's a double whammy.
It was belly drum, webs, play rough, and return. I want to say, or play rough and drain punch. I think.
Yeah,
but the point is,
didn't it also get its it got its boost from the item?
Well, yeah, because Manshao procced it with.
Oh man.
It was. I mean, it's one of those situations where it's very rare in battles where you wish you got a lower roll, and that was one of them.
Oh yeah.
Where you just wished you'd roll slightly lower.
We talked about where we couldn't really think of a situation where you wanted a lower roll. I think we talked about this in a previous podcast.
I've had two. I had one in a battle against Meta, or I wanted him to KO what was in front of him.
Oh, right. Yes.
But that's a different battle. Point is, I think it would have been a more contentious match if the
stars hadn't perfectly aligned.
Well, if 85% is 85%, you hit 85% of the time. The other thing was that after webs were up, it was a really tough game. Mm-hmm. Omega opted to. Omega's having fun with this. Yeah, Omega opted to bring Rain Dance on Rotom Wash so that he could fire off 100% accurate hurricanes with Dragonite. The thing that came at the expense of was running Defog, which ended up hurting.
Yeah,
that hurt pretty bad. Because Mesprit got Rocks turn 1.
It's always a tough decision on whether or not to bring Defog on Rotom Wash, because I find myself a lot of weeks where I'm like, I didn't need to bring Defog. I could have brought a different move and I might have had a better battle. But at the same time, it's like, but I know in the back of my mind that I wouldn't, if I hadn't brought Defog, then I would have gotten rocks or webs set up on me and just got dirted out by that.
There's some kind of crass joke to be made here about items that you would rather have and not need than need and not have.
Right.
But we don't go there. This is a family establishment.
Rotom is one of those things that always has kind of almost constant for MSS.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it falls in the same category as Scizor.
Or Gliscor.
Or Gliscor, yeah, sure. I mean, the thing that I think the reason that we don't label them as having 4 MSS is because you can't. You can only occasionally go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
If you tune your set right, you're probably not gonna if you really thought you needed Defog, you probably won't regret bringing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But whatever the case, I think that Airflab just kind of caught him off guard here, and the Mist Will-O-Wisp was unlucky. It wasn't.
Yeah. I'll also say with the amount of hazards that get and screens that get thrown around, Defog is usually not a bad bring anyway, because I'm gonna say probably about 70% of the time there's something that's worth defogging.
Yeah, more likely. But sometimes you just want to force your opponent to defog for you, etc.
Yeah, yeah. For sure. So
Anyways.
yeah, that was Colorado versus Seattle. Now we move on to another familiar team. Actually, two familiar coaches, but one that has a familiar team name, and that is the Los Angeles Chargebugs, coached by Always Meta, and Akron Absols, coached by this is Adam's team, right? The Absols.
Yes.
Because it's Akron. I wanted to make sure. I didn't want to assume here, but yeah.
Yeah, no,
And
he's rebranding in this league. It's cool.
It is a 1-0 victory for Akron. This is a close match.
Mimikyu went in.
Yeah.
Like it came through in the end for him, and he really needed it too.
Oh yeah. He did a good job of picking his timing. We talked about the timing with your setup moves. He predicted the switches that he needed to predict and the moves that he needed to predict pretty flawlessly.
I'm happy for Adam. This was the day that he played I think he played 4 matches and went 4-0. Like,
yeah,
I see it as like I think that Adam is kind of returning to form at a good time.
Oh
like,
yeah,
with AI starting up and
he's getting back. He's getting back into his He's getting back into his RDL Season 1 groove.
Yeah, the Santoro curse is broken.
Yeah. Oh man, the Santoro slump.
We miss you, Adam. Have a good vacation.
Love you.
Yeah, so the brings here were Victini, Klefki, Mega Beedrill, Salamence, Porygon 2, and Vaporeon for Los Angeles Chargebugs. And Akron brought Mega Caesar, Infernape, Mimikyu, Kyurem, Lando I, with Sandforce obviously, and Tyranitar.
Yeah.
Lando I and Tyranitar make a really nice sand core.
Yeah. Adam got Tyranitar in the last round this draft. Like, it went unpicked, and he had the slot for
That's
T1.
a good last round pick.
He saw the option to create this like little mini sand core that he really liked, and he did it.
Well, also on the top of that, Mega Caesar benefits from sand.
I don't recall perfectly, but like I think was Tyranitar's 1 kill on Salamence? I think maybe so.
Yeah, it was a Stone Edge.
Yeah, that was big because
So that another good match, very good match. Had a lot of fun watching that one. Down to the wire too.
Was really down to the wire.
All right.
I think Adam had to play really.
And yet another familiar coach for the RDL.
Got a bunch of them in a row.
This is the Atlanta Alterias Altaria.
Yep, Atlanta Altaria.
Altaria.
There's no pearl.
Versus the Brisbane Scythers. And the Atlanta Altaria are coached by another RDL alumnus, Nadia.
Friend of the show.
Hi, Nadia. And it was a 3-0 victory for Brisbane. The brings were Mega Metacham, Tornadus I, Ferrothorn, Florges, Reuniclus, and Blacephalon for Brisbane. Atlanta brought Incineroar for Alligator, Thunderous Eye, Mismagius, Mega Lopunny, and Whimsicott.
Yeah, I watched this one. I think that the thing that It's D. Willie did, the coach of the Brisbane Scythers, that really allowed him to survive the match was he kept Florges basically at full health the whole time. Like, he was careful about it. The result of that was that Florges lived hits from Mega Lopunny, which is big. Like, it lived a return and O-code back with
Bless.
That was, and honestly, like, I felt like D. Willie did a good job of like switching around with his Ferrothorn, his Florges. Like, that core was just really, really tough for Nadia to break. There was
actually a pretty dastardly defensive core.
There were some switches between Reuniclus and Ferrothorn when Mega Lopunny was out.
Reuniclus on that team? Jeez.
Yeah, dude.
Actually, that's a really dastardly core he's got going there.
Yeah, and he didn't even bring it this week, but this is the dude who has Toxapex in the back, right? He's got,
He has Ferropex and Reuniclus?
He has Ferropex, Florges, and Reuniclus, my guy.
Gosh.
And then he surrounds it. He puts Mega Metacham on that team to break things. Tornai.
Is this like my clone from the future? Is this person my clone from the future?
It's possible because it's clear that he's like, building better bulk teams.
Yeah.
Better bulk teams.
So I'm gonna just completely rip this list as my draft list for next season.
Do it. Honestly, grab we've been.
This man has Pikachu.
Yeah, dude. We've been telling you this for a while, Cossack. You need to draft for Uniclus at some point and go
I
in
wanted
with that
to
mod.
this season.
Yo,
It got
Reuniclus is
sniped
like
from
so
me.
much fun. I will like love that mod to the day.
All right.
Like, it's
Yeah,
so much
Gen
fun.
5 power creep. What up?
Yeah.
What's good?
So I think that actually just about covers everything.
Yeah, because this was it. If you're going down the list of one conference, and since these were interconference matchups,
Yeah, you did.
Yep,
That's it.
it's convenient for this week, actually.
Yes, it is.
Nice.
All right,
Yep.
so
All right. So back to the RDL.
wahoo, here we go.
And do we have a lot of transactions to go over.
Oh my goodness.
There's so many transactions because it's the free agent frenzy. Yeah.
Wait. Pause. I got this. I need to run upstairs and grab my phone.
Oh my gosh.
I have an app just for this.
Oh my gosh.
Is it the communist Russian? Is it the Russian national?
No, I
dude.
actually no. Hold on. I got this. Let me find my audio projects.
Oh no.
No, I'd prefer not to get content ID'd. Thanks much.
Who's playing that now?
That would be me.
That's
Oh.
yeah.
That's
Alright,
that's
here we
that's
go.
some good patriotism, good nationalism right
here
there.
we go.
Yo, Cossack, say that it's the RDL trade extravaganza again.
I already no, it's too late. I already hit the pokey horn. You couldn't hear it. We already got enough air horn in here. Get out of here. God, you people are incorrigible.
We apologize to everyone from the Alola International who's just tuning in to realize that we're going to waste their time.
Insane.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to Andrew, by the way. Love you, Andrew.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. This
Our mandatory Andrew shout out of the week.
this podcast is brought to you by Andrew.
And viewers like Andrew.
Viewers like Andrew. Thank you. and viewers like John Cena.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. Roster changes, and we're gonna go all the way back up to Sunday at Well, first, actually, we have to go even further back.
We have to go back.
So we already talked about me dropping Honchkrow for Frostlass, I'm pretty sure.
We did.
Which was the last one listed before... The frenzy started a little early at last Thursday with Andrew, listener of the week, every
Always.
week.
Listener of every week.
Dropping
yes.
Ursaring for Kangaskhan.
Ooh. Wish pass.
Yep.
I like Kanga for that team. I think you didn't like Kanga. Not Kanga. Ursaring because like the speed tier. I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Kanga gives him a little bit more of a speed tier and gives him a lot of utility.
Yeah. Chicago then on Friday made a ton of moves. You just dropped all of their free agent transactions right off the bat here, just before the frenzy. Delmise got dropped for Shaman, which I think is a good pickup. Honestly,
I do too.
Love Hedgelord.
Rotom Cut got dropped for Magneton. Incineroar got dropped for Toxicroak.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting team.
I don't know how this is going to affect Storm's team. I think it's an overall positive. Certainly, she didn't need Rotom Cut after picking up Shaman, I think. And we'll see how it plays out. I'm kind of middling on the last, like on the last one here, Toxicroak for Incineroar. I'm middling on that right now.
It gives type diversity.
It does give type diversity, and I don't think it's necessarily bad. I want to see how it's going to play out before I make a full.
Toxicroak is a cool mon.
Yep. All right, and then Dominator dropped Virizion for Registeel. So he dropped a little bit of speed and a little bit of attack flexibility for just pure bulk. Because that's what Registeel is.
I'm not sure. I feel biased in this regard. I don't really like moves that pick up Reggies because I don't really like the Reggies.
Fair.
But like,
I mean, this team could benefit with that extra bulk, though. The thing is, I think
Who
he
was that? That
wanted
was a
I think he wanted
that
a
was
steel
Dominant,
type
right?
that wasn't weak to dark type.
However, like going double steel is like I don't know
Yeah.
how I
Well,
feel about that.
he's going triple
Two,
steel because he's got Lucario.
I mean, I
Yo.
get like Luke plus another steel because Luke isn't key
Yeah.
steel, but
Yeah.
having two like very similar Mons in G plus like
Yeah.
Bronzong,
It's an
I'm not sure I
interesting
understand that.
it's an interesting
Just
choice.
me.
But I mean, San Antonio, like we said, likes that high risk, high reward. This is just I think another case of that.
I'm not
Yes.
sure. See, I'm not really sure that Registeel fits the play style there.
I don't know
No.
either, but we'll see. We'll see how maybe he plans on shifting his play style.
I mean, I don't think so. But the thing is, like, I think I mentioned this too.
I don't know.
I think
I'm not.
suggesting that one here.
I'm not like. I honestly, I have no idea what this is gonna do.
It
I
feels
don't-
redundant to me. at least.
Yeah. I don't know why. I mean, I could see dropping Virizion on this team because he does have a lot of like speed and power already. He doesn't really need Virizion.
I think his team likes the grass type.
Yeah, but like, there's other grass types he could have picked up.
Like his team, literally almost auto loses to like Zygarde, which
Yeah.
he has in his division, I think.
I'm almost
Yeah,
wondering.
he has Zydog in his division, I think, or was that 2 weeks ago?
No, because
No,
I
it
have
doesn't have-
Zydog in my division because that's the
That's right.
Solgalios.
Like his team is
Yeah.
almost like really weak to ground spam to an extent.
You know,
I mean,
it kind of
what's
is.
what's worth noting is that he has to play Ballistic at some point, right?
Yeah.
Like Ballistic is going to be coming up in. Wait, or no? Has he already played Ballistic?
No,
Actually,
week 9
I
he
have
plays
both of the
Ballistic.
I have
There
both
it
of the
is.
Zygardes in my division.
Thank you.
Week,
Yeah, exactly.
week 9 he plays a Zygarde, and Zygarde is ridiculous against him.
Mm-hmm. So
Well,
we'll see how that affects it. He must have some plan in mind.
Must have.
All right. So now we have a whole slew of transactions because Omega's had to
Today.
kind of recuse himself due to the strains of engineering school. The weight of the world that he's been carrying.
and if he's not having fun with Mons, it's good for him to take a
right,
break.
yeah, and honestly, I do think he was getting a little burnt out. I mean, he had to do, like you said, he had to do 6 matches in like a day.
When Mons isn't fun, it's not worth
Yeah.
time to play.
It's
Right.
true.
And so he's actually dropped out. The team has been handed over to the new meta.
The new meta.
And since I can't just call him meta because we already have a meta, I'm calling him Numa.
Numa.
He is Numa now. He
Wait,
is Numa.
just wait for upcoming weeks where we're going to get the coach who is new Numa.
New
Oh
Numa.
goodness.
It's gonna be awful.
Oh goodness.
Okay,
So
but anyways, his moves.
his moves. He switched megas. He now has Mega Pinsir instead of Mega T-Tar.
Mega Pinsir is a good Pokemon.
He dropped Sandslash for Houndoom, dropped Healisk for Tentacruel, dropped Decidueye for Ferroseed, and Alakazam for Latias. Radically shifting things
The
around on that
team.
team. I think it's
Yeah.
good though. This looks power. This looks like some power here.
I feel
Yeah,
like
I think I like Tenta P2 more than I liked P2 plus whatever else he had.
Yeah.
Registeel originally.
Yeah.
Lobby.
Yep.
Like it's not as weak to knockoff, I guess. Knockoff spam's
And
still
that was
really
made
good against
Saturday.
Omega.
Should be noted, these were all made Saturday before week 6. So
Mhm.
now
I
we
think
move,
knockoff spam is just like one of those things that's really good
Yeah,
against that
and
team right
I'm
now.
just gonna say, yeah,
That conk helps, and
I did want to say one thing as well, though, which is I feel like sometimes when you come in mid-season and you're trying to like make a team work, it's helpful to just like add power,
yeah,
and that's what this did. Like he
Oh,
added
yeah.
power.
yeah,
like
Mega
Latias is a good mon. Like
Mega
Latias is a good
Pinsir,
mon.
Brute Power.
Yeah, yeah. I think Mega Pinsir and Latias added to this team it makes it interesting, and we'll see.
Yeah.
And this is a friend of Andrew's who's been added here, and
Mhm.
like Andrew was mentioning it to me the other day, and it sounds like he's like new to draft, but is fairly experienced, or like has some ladder experience.
Right.
It'd be fun to see what he does
Yeah.
with the team because it's kind of a no pressure situation, right? Like
yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a weird spot where you can just kind of like go out and play fun sets and
Yeah.
yeah.
So, and it allowed him to get a feel for it, for sure.
Yeah.
And so now we move into the real frenzy of week 6 free agent transactions, because we get 2 extra free agent transactions that can only be used in week 6. And week 6 isn't over yet. I know this, but there's already been a ton of transactions. So I figure spending some time now so that we don't have to spend a whole hour later.
There were less than last season.
There were less than last season. So first off, Liverpool, me, literally at 12 a.m. Like
Nice.
I had it typed in and was just waiting to hit the enter button. And I dropped Mega Ampharos for Mega Aerodactyl.
The speed.
I have speed now, guys.
Hey.
I have
good?
actually have speed. For once, Cossack has speed. And then right after me or at the same time, practically simultaneous, Ohio dropped Keldeo to Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh now has Keldeo, and they got Tyranitar. And I think Keldeo might be a good pickup for Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Certainly can't. It's a mon that Rich comfortable with.
Yeah. Rich made finals in another league with Keldeo, and so I think it's kind of for him an effort to try and get back to something that he knows and can use.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
he could use the water type on the roster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whew.
And Mike was wheeling and dealing.
Mike
He
did
traded-
Adam. Mike did what Adam did, but did it right.
Yeah, so he dropped, or well, I shouldn't say dropped. He traded Keldeo to Pittsburgh for Tyranitar. Turns around, trades Tyranitar and Lycanroc midday for Volcanion and Skuntank on the free agent.
Skuntank adds default, which I really like, and Volcanion is just a dumb breaker.
I love Volcanion.
I think you have to think that move is inspired by yours and Mike's team, Cossack.
In the CTL?
Like where he just
yeah,
he's been
definitely.
using Volcanion, and he's just like, let's pick this thing up. It's free.
Yeah.
Volcanion looks really good on his team.
It
It does. He has a stacked roster.
Yeah.
Michael's team is really
His
good.
team was
Latias,
already brutal to face. I'm glad I
Volcania.
faced it before this iteration.
It's
Because like
dumb.
nothing switches it. Not a lot switches into Volcanion very easily.
No,
Yeah.
Volcanion only has really 2 real weaknesses. And that
Like,
is
things are
electric
faster than
and
it.
ground.
And rock.
And the fact
Well,
that like
and rocks, but the thing is with rock, like, it's a lot harder to use rocks against Volcanion than other stuff.
you get stealth rocks up.
Yeah, but like,
That's how you beat Volcanion. You have to like punish it for coming in and like
yeah, you have to.
you have to have something that can like reliably revenge.
You have
like,
to
a
force
Scarf.
it to switch into you, rather than the other way around. That's how you usually have to beat Volcanion, because it's very natural. It's got its stat spread is
bulky.
It's bulky, but it's got enough base speed that you can run a scarf set on that thing and just start nuking people.
I had an issue like season, like when I played Santoro, I had like banned Victini. I was like, all right, because he let off with like this volcano. I was like, all right, I'm gonna play banded Bolt Strike. It's gonna die. And then he went for Steam Eruption. I went, oh no, I lost everything.
Yeah, basically, like it's just the freeze frame. How did this happen to me?
Yeah, that's what we call a learning experience.
Yeah.
And then I learned about lead lures. That very
I
first
had to
day.
face Santoro. I feel like I had to face him twice with Volcanion, I think.
I had to face him twice with Volcanion as well. And
it was
amazingly,
brutal.
I didn't sack my Victini turn 1.
Okay, so, or no, I had to face the previous coach that had that team, and that Volcanion was a carryover from that.
Yeah.
So and they were
moving
a
on.
good coach too. But anyway, so right after that, 5 minutes after that, in fact, LA drops Nido for Nido, dropping Nido King for Nido Queen.
Someone gets in Nido Queen the better Nido just because of its relative bulkiness.
It's tough to say one way or the other.
I think it sets hazards better.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then at the
Which I
same
think
moment
Meta
that happened,
kind of likes.
Mike
Yeah,
continues
19.
his rampage of changes by promoting Volcanion to Z Captain. So
Ew.
I hope you all are ready for Z Fire Blasts and Z Steam Eruptions.
And Z Bloom Doom, yo.
And Z
Yeah,
Bloom
it gets
Doom
Z Solar
and-
Beam to break through those bulky waters.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's bad.
So many disgusting moves. Z Sludge Wave. Like,
Stuff's coming, dude. That team is the favorite to make finals in that conference. Like,
oh,
I think
definitely.
his only loss, like he got frozen.
yeah.
So Then we move on to the Solgalios dropping Chandelure for Incineroar.
Again, that's an interesting move. I mean, his teams are really fighting weak, if I remember correctly. Like, it's kind of got some fighting issues.
It kind of still
like
does.
I mean, Amoonguss is a little. I mean, he's got good switches. Never mind.
I feel I was to say like.
I mean, he's got Gligar. He's got Amoonguss. Both are decent fighting switch-ins.
Yeah.
He has options for when that.
He's too dark type.
And he has Azelf. Azelf is a pretty good.
It's not bulky though.
It's not bulky, but it's a good fighting counter. Like he can revenge kill fighting off.
Yeah, I can check.
Anyway.
Clutch's pet peeve tick just activated a little.
Yes.
Ohio again.
More
trades Dusknoir to the Solgalios for Scrafty.
Gives him a dark type.
So there's Koala recovering or getting rid of one of his dark types for another ghost type.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not sure if that's a huge move. I don't think
it's a huge move, but
both of those mons are pretty solidly like tier 4 for a reason.
I like Scrafty. I think Scrafty actually is a pretty good mon. Like it has a decent.
Because I like Dusknoir a lot. So
I think Dusknoir's really passive. But that actually no, I think it Dusclops. Dusknoir's not too bad.
No, Dusknoir is actually pretty heavy hitting.
I think Scrafty's like kind of like to an extent a little bit underrated. It's good.
Oh, yeah.
But I think you have to run bulk up with it and hope that they don't bring fairy coverage.
Yeah.
Right? Like the Dragon Dance set is not that great.
Against slower teams to be kind of useful.
But the thing is, there's like, I don't know.
But anyway, I think one of his best sets is definitely bulk up and kill things.
I still think it was like, considering the previous transaction, I think picking up Dusknoir was the right decision here.
And then and Michael adding a dark type is always. I think a dark type super important in the form.
Dude, if Michael makes good use of Scrafty, like if there's a good Scrafty game here, I will be so hyped.
Scrafty's a cool mon.
So Gallios, or well, actually San Jose first drops Araquanid for Blastoise, and Mega Pidgeot for Mega Gyarados.
Fun shit.
Yep.
I love Mega Gyara so much.
I think that team got scarier too. Like Mega Gyara is like
Mega Gyara is frightening.
He maintains a bulky water and Blastoise, I think.
Yep, Blastoise is bulky.
He had 2 web setters already.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's true.
This also adds a spinner to his team too.
He has a spinner. He gets a bulky water, and he has an offensive water in Mega Gyara, which I think if you have like. And Mega Gyara can eat some hits and
Mega Gyara is
ridiculous damage.
Pretty decently bulked in its own right.
It's a 95, 109, 130 defenses.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Like it's hard to take down in one hit.
And that like and switch having its regular form switch in with like Intimidate.
Mm-hmm.
It gets like
it's easier to set up with that.
That's the thing to me is like like I played Gyarados last season in the RDL and I got a couple games where I swept with it because that thing. It's surprisingly bulky. It finds opportunities to set up because of Intimidate, because of the special bulk, and Mega Gyarados like takes that and then amps the power up for giggles
and changes it to a really good offensive typing.
Throw off some sheer force boosted crunch.
Mold breaker. It's mold breaker.
Oh jeez. Oh yeah, it would be so much better with sheer force though.
If it was sheer force, it'd be Uber.
Earthquake is good though. Like it can hit the levitate users.
Base 155 is just attack is just dumb.
Yeah, anyway, it's a good mon.
So then the Solgalios drop Melodic for Alligator.
No more bulky water.
But for Alligator's got that force, man. That sheer force.
Gator's got the sheer force.
Alligator has sheer force.
Yes.
Gator is actually I think I was trying to move to a more offensive build.
He is.
With that team.
Yeah,
which
is fine because he's still got bulk, he's still got pivots, like he's got a Amoonguss, he's got
Amoonguss with Gligar plus Steela.
He's got a decent defensive pivot core in there, and Mega Diancie is
Incineroar can be defensive as well.
Yeah, and Mega Diancie is a good check to hazards. Like I think he's got a pretty solid and Dusknoir. He added Dusknoir, which is also bulky. Like he's got a decent balanced team going here. I think.
I feel like he shuffled his team in a way that could be good. Like,
and
if he wasn't happy with how it performed, because he went 2 and 3.
Yeah, he's 2 and 3 right now.
I mean, yeah, a shuffle at this point, he's still like game to make playoffs in that.
Yeah.
You know, in the conference if he makes the right moves. So.
Yeah. Well,
Anyways,
and this is the time to do it because this is the make or break half of the season here. This is where.
Oh yeah.
This especially because like our current like I'm 2-3. He's 2-3. The Chargebugs are 4-1. Oregon
at the
is
break
3-2.
last season, I was like
what
was my record at the break last season?
Yeah, this is
3 something like that.
This is like our division is still very much a fight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think at the break last season I was like 3-4. Like after the break, I didn't lose a single game.
Yeah. So, then Chicago makes some more moves. Marowak getting dropped for Rhydon.
Different ground.
And drops Mega Absol for Mega Sharpedo. This one, now the Mega Absol for Mega Sharpedo, I'm not so sure on.
Yeah, me
I'm
neither.
not quite sold on that one.
Yeah, because we're a first turn Mega
League. Yeah, if we weren't a first turn Mega League, this would actually be a pretty decent pickup, I think.
What's the mechanic by which you can get a speed boost off of like a U-turn or something?
Yeah, if you switch it into a U-turn. No,
like a slow volt switch or something like that.
Maybe, but you're also getting practically O-code for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
I think you get a slow volt switch and get it on that extra like back turn. Like,
does that actually work?
I'm googling. I'm gonna Google that mechanic.
All right.
You Google that. I'm not sold on it again because we're first turn Mega Evo League and
that
Mega Sharpedo. Yeah,
You can't run Adamant Shark. You can't run Adamant Shark that way. Essentially, you're forced to.
Yeah, it's rough.
Like, and it hits hard, and
okay.
Mega Absol like hits hard too and is faster and
setup options.
You can only get speed boost if it's in when something like goes down.
Right. Oh, okay.
So you can't bring it on if you bring it off a U-turn, you still won't get the speed boost.
Yeah.
You could bring it in on something dying to toxic damage or something.
I think so. If you play it right, that's really tough to play.
Yeah.
No, it's
I wouldn't
it's
bank
not,
on it.
I remember that there was a
finicky to
mechanic
bank
by
on
which
that.
you could acquire a speed boost even if in a first turn Mega League.
If you make it double on something like dice to have, you get the speed boost or something like that. Like it's weird.
That's such a weird mechanic. Anyways, the point is it's hard.
Welcome to Mons, everybody.
So, yay, obscure mechanics.
Yep.
That we all
so then
have to know.
Numa makes another transaction, dropping Magmortar for Zebstrika.
Fast electrics are good in the format.
They are. Zebstrika is okay.
It's okay. As a Pokemon, it's decent.
Yeah. I just wish it like I wish for Zeb's sake that its move pool was just a little bit wider. Or its stats were just a little better.
And Ballistic making even more transactions. As of today, these are like fresh, hot off the presses.
As of like 4 hours ago.
Which, considering our podcast format, is pretty impressive. But Oregon dropped Stakataka for Pelipper, Cloyster for Kabutops, Linoon for Escavalier, and Kabutops will take over as Zemon for Staka.
You get rain, boys.
Yeah. So we've lost both the sand teams in the league and gained a rain team.
Now
so he hasn't changed his Mega yet, which is odd to me.
I'm
because
actually
he has Mega Houndoom.
Like,
yeah, that's true.
I'm okay with this for multiple reasons. A big one being that I have to face him with this new team, but I actually think my team matches up pretty well against a rain team.
Yeah, fairly. Speed control, speed control, speed control.
Yay.
Yeah. Anyway.
Staka, and I think it was a good move just to get rid of, like, I think not having Staka is a good move because I don't think, I honestly think that Staka is a gimmick mon. Like, I'm not sure it fits with teams. Honestly.
Staka is, you know, and I mentioned this at the beginning of season because I had Staka last season for a week.
A day.
A day, basically. And Stacka is really tough to get working, and to his credit, he's had it do work for him. I think it's done all the work it's gonna do for him. I think dropping it's the right choice.
He goes and gets a 6-0 with Linoon and drops that boy. That's
Rip Linoon.
This is a cold business. You can 6-0 a team and then get dropped 2 weeks later.
I mean, I dropped
no
Slowbro after
loyalty
it
in
picked
this
up
game.
2 kills for me in week 1.
No loyalty in this game.
No loyalty. Victory is the only thing that matters here.
All right, that's all the moves
so far. Still a lot of week left to go. Still a lot of people
geez.
who haven't made transactions. We'll get back to you next week on whether or not more transactions have transpired. And so we move on to Mon of the Week, which is due to popular request.
which is to say Andrew's request.
Which is to say Andrew's request, Cradily, which I didn't have him on of the week lined up yet, and I was actually just starting to consider it when he popped me the message. So
I was talking to Andrew. I was like, "Hey, you want to?"
Nice.
So hey, and I figure, hey, he's been a dedicated listener. He deserves to choose Mon of the Week at least once. And actually, you know what? If any of you out there have suggestions for Mon of the Week, we'll take a look. Pass them up the chain and like PM
down
me,
below.
Cossack11 on Discord.
Comment in the video down below. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell.
Please,
Ring the bell.
Please,
There we go.
Please, let's not go this far.
We're
Cradily.
too late, Cossack.
Tickle the gnome. That's the next one. You know.
Hug
it.
your mother.
Oh boy, here we go.
Call her as well.
So yeah, Cradily, what a mon. Am I right? Cradily is actually
It's actually a pretty fun mon.
It is, and it's got an interesting typing that interacts very well. First of all, this is a mon that works well on rain or sand because it's got storm drain.
I like it
it's
better
rock
in
typing.
sand.
I do
On
like it
sand,
better
it's
in
really
sand
cool.
because it's got a pretty decent base special defense of 107, and that just gets boosted in sand
Yeah.
because of the rock typing.
Fun fact: my first ever OU team ran Tyranitar, Metagross, and Cradily, amongst other things.
It's
Like it was because in permanent sand that thing took hits.
well, and
like
it's got a very balanced stat distribution, like 86 HP, 81 attack, 97 defense, 81 special attack, 107 special defense. Its speed is low, 43, but like, what do you expect from something
It doesn't need to be fast.
No, not for what it's doing. And
yeah, it just sits there, and it gets really cool.
it gets recover, which is great, especially when you combine that with Storm Drain against a rain team. Like,
Storm Drain boosts your special attack, so like it has decent special attack at 81, but like after +1, it can actually hit like somewhat reasonable level.
And it gets Giga Drain, so like because it's a grass
Stab
type,
Giga Drain.
Yeah.
It has it's a solid rocker.
Yep.
Reliable recovery and recover. Poison coverage is cool.
Toxic. Like this thing can toxic stall really well.
It's a fairly good setter.
It's
as well.
you know what it's really good for?
rocks.
This thing's decent for breaking a lot of bulky waters.
It's decent for coming in on a lot of bulky waters. The thing it doesn't appreciate from bulky waters is toxic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now
It doesn't have any way to get rid of toxic.
That's true.
unless you run a rest set, dude, I legitimately like Curse Rest Cradily with Chestoberry was a set in
and by the
Because, like,
by the same token, the 81 special attack isn't exactly high, but is also like after a boost is pretty solid. It has 81 attack as well, so after a couple curses, this thing is looking pretty strong, especially with the base 97 defense as well. Like
it was certainly more viable when sand was permanent, so you had a permanent SPDEF boost.
Yes.
But yeah, no, Cradily is one of those things. Like I think that the reason I used it originally was because I was just under the impression when I first started Mons that it would be like this crazy, bulky, awful thing because Steven had one in Gen 3, right? Like, and when you're battling the Elite Four, and that thing was such a pain to take down because you'd whittle it away and then you just full restore it.
Yeah.
If you want to be a real jerk with this thing, run Confuse Ray.
Ooh.
Memes. If you want to be a real, You're in rock polish, weakness policy, Cradily.
There's your meme set. Wait. Let me just control F something real quick. Hey, you know what else Cradily gets, right?
What?
It gets facade, so like...
Yo.
Don't even run
just-
Flame Orb. Just what you do is you start cursing, and you know that the thing they're gonna do, they're gonna bring out that their bulky something or other to toxic you.
They're gonna bring out the Rotom Wash, or
yeah, they bring out the Rotom Wash to toxic you, and then as soon as you toxic them, as soon as they toxic you, you just start firing off these base 140 power facades back at them. You're at +4 at this point.
Yo,
You don't give a-
Cradily gets SD. You better run dual dance Cradily sometime.
Oh,
Dual
man.
Dance. Andrew, I'll buy you a pizza if you run dual dance Cradily.
Oh man.
That's
Top tier.
That'd be
Only
flame
the
drive.
finest sets and strats here at the
Nice.
MagneZOne. It does get Gastro Acid, which can be useful.
That
as
actually could be
well.
kind of useful for something like
Yeah,
for
that's
something
some
like
useful.
Gliscor.
That's some useful tech against certain teams.
Like
Ooh,
you run that against like a Gliscor team.
Yeah.
I've never thought about that. That's tight.
Mm-hmm.
And Gliscor instead of like taking health up, it starts losing health to poison.
Which
Because
which is
it's,
usually pretty devastating to.
It forces Gliscor to essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a few other abilities that like nullifying
Huge power.
Levitate on
Yep.
Rotom Wash, because that puts it down on the ground where earthquakes can hit it.
We'll find like huge power off of
Diggersby. Yeah.
you can Gastro Acid into Magic Bouncer and then rocks.
Yeah.
That
way you can get your webs up on Mega Diancie.
Rip.
Yeah.
Rip Cossack.
Imagine if that
Rip
was
Cossack
possible.
Season 2.
Rip Revenge Tour Season 2.
Yeah.
I stomped that Revenge Tour pretty well, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. It also gets Infestation, so you could, theoretically lock something in with it.
Yeah. It does get blocked too, which is like a better version of it.
Mm-hmm.
Another interesting thing is that people talk about Storm Drain as being a good move, but one of the reasons that Curse Cradily was such a big thing back in the day is because it cannot be phased if you run Suction Cups.
Yeah.
As an ability.
Oh, true.
They're not going to whirlwind you because
Yeah, you could run like a dastardly like curse set, like curse block, and curse block rest.
You're gonna
Suction cup.
Yeah, you're gonna lock. Cradily is gonna lock something in a room with it and get to +6.
+6,
and you could, if you really wanted to, you could double down on your recovery and have Synthesis and recover.
Ooh.
But don't do that because it's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. Don't do that.
Welcome to Cossack's bad sets.
It also, notably though, it can actually nullify Crocoon sets because it can hit Worry Seed on it and give it insomnia, so it can't rest.
Oh, true.
Oh,
or it can just sit in front of it with Storm Drain and wall it without T-Spikes.
I mean that too, but you got options though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's got cool.
Yeah, and also if you want to catch some stuff off guard, run Smackdown. That's fun too.
Oh yeah.
You could
Smackdown of Celesteela.
Dude, I want a Cradily that 1v1 Celesteela.
Wait. Here's the real anti-Crocoon set. Psych Up.
Oof.
Oh. When you start psyching up Calm Minds with your Cursed Cradily, it's over.
Oh man.
That's game.
Yeah, where's the store tower with Cradily?
Can you imagine someone managing to block the Suicune in with them, where they're just absorbing scalds.
Yeah.
The Suicune can't go to sleep.
Yo. Here's the tech on. You run Rock Polish Psych Up block.
It's so dumb.
And you Rock Polish up on its in its base to your plus.
Oh man.
I love this. This is the best. This is the new best hypothetical we've ever come up with.
Oh yeah, this is the theoriest of the Theorymons.
It's not Flame Orb Facade Diggersby. That's
the old busted. This is the new hotness.
Block, Rock Polish, Psych Up, and then Giga Drain.
Yeah.
It also notably has Brine.
What? Okay.
Brian.
Is that like water coverage?
Yeah, water coverage. 60.
Okay.
Its base power is 65, but if your target's HP is 50% or less, it doubles the power. Turns into a base 130.
I'm thinking that just means that you're going to be able to fire off these crazy, huge, big power hydro vortex, whatever they're called. The Z
that's true.
Yeah.
Z Cradily, my guy. That's
Cradily.
the real. That's
Z
the real.
Cradily, my dude.
My guys.
Yeah, dude, it's base 120 as a Z move.
Yeah.
Nice.
You're basically just firing off one.
It's got
100%
this thing's got
accurate
a
hydro
very
pump.
this thing's got a very interesting like boosting move pool and like a lot of like weird stall breaking stuff that you can run.
Honestly, the thing about it is just that its typing is really weird, and people occasionally forget what its weaknesses are.
And it
Like,
should be
honestly,
noted that it has
it's weak
edgequake
to-
coverage
it's
as
weak to-
well.
It's weak to weird things like ice, fighting, bug, and steel. Like that's it.
Yeah.
It also consequently doesn't really have many resistances. It's like resists normal and resists electric, because those like rock and grass cancel a whole lot of their weaknesses, like flying and flying, ground, poison, fire, water.
But you can make that work for you for sure.
Yeah, it's a weird mon. It's
forget what this thing's weak to. It's like always a thing. It's like how do I kill this thing?
It also gets pain split, which can be useful.
For nothing when you have recovery.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's middling base HP. You know, I like pain split better when you've got something like Caphagrigus or
Rotom Wash.
Or Rotom Wash.
Yeah. But it's got a decent physical and special move pool, and since its physical and special attack stats are the same, you can run it either way.
Yep.
And it has edgequake coverage, which is not nothing. So, I think it has. Yeah, it has Earthquake, yep.
That about covers it, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's got that edgequake.
Jeez.
So that's, that could be,
Well,
could be done. Yeah, it's a pity it doesn't have Serene Grace, because then you could just run Headbutt.
What about Cradily's design makes you think it deserves Serene Grace?
It looks very serene, thank you very much.
Dude, the comment I made to Andrew yesterday when we were talking about this mon, because it went in his game, hence me shouting its name, was I was like, Cradily's good. It's ugly AF though. And his response was like, lol, 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 true.
Yeah. But hey, it doesn't looks aren't everything, man.
That's true. If you're not naming your Cradily after
It's a
whatever
good
the
it's a
nightmare
good
on
utility mon. It's a
whatever
good
street
pickup at
is.
low tier. It can really tie a team together. It's a good glue mon, I think.
Mhm.
It's a good budget rocker.
Yeah.
Like you need
some-
rocks in the grass
with,
type?
yeah, with
This
some
is
stall
all
break, and it's got some good stall breaking capability as well.
Need a water immunity? We've got one for you.
Yeah, rock type that's not weak to waters. Really, really handy.
Mhm.
Well, that and it grants immunity. It has Storm Drain, which is immunity to water type moves.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
switch on the predicted Scald
So,
Prophet.
Cowed.
we got the regional dialects coming in here
Yeah,
now.
we do. So,
I
all right, that's gonna cover it for this week. We'll keep covering. We're very happy that we've started covering the Alola International League.
will try to keep up with the games.
Yep.
I won't be able to watch as many. I'm still studying.
I will be able to watch more. I didn't have as much time this week because I had some weird scheduling this week.
Can I talk about how I'm looking forward to being able to play Mons and not study like 10 hours a day
Yeah.
for physics exams?
Yeah.
Because I
That would be
am.
useful.
No doubt.
It'll be so great.
All right. Well, that's it for this week. Thank you all for listening. I would say watching, but there's not really much visual element to this yet. I'm working on it. But I've got a lot of stuff going on.
And
So
I'm glad you can't see me. I came home and took off my pants.
did we need to know this? I don't think we did.
That's a good closing note, dude.
Yeah. Okay. With that,
Bathrobes are comfy, what can I
before we
say?
talk about any other like garments that that Sam may or may not be wearing, peace out. We'll see you next week.